Hello, my name is Paco Rivera, and this is the Maximum Sentence Channel, where we discuss a recent crime and conviction and a maximum penalty handed down. You can also follow me on Facebook for updates and more. There will be a link to my Facebook in the description below. In September of last year, 2025, about 9 months before I'm making this presentation, a 24-year-old man, originally from Cuba, named Eduardo Machado, walked into a Circle K gas station in Ormond-by-the-Sea, Florida, where Machado was working as a store clerk. And immediately upon entering through the door where he was working, he pointed a gun at David Jewell, who happened to be an off-duty, out-of-uniform police officer. David was not even armed at the time, and Machado immediately proceeded to shoot David 24 times. 24 times. An outrageous overkill. I'll get a little more into the details of that tragic day in a moment. First, I can tell you that last month, on May 18th, 2026, that Eduardo Felipe Labrada Machado pleaded no contest to first-degree murder in Volusia County for the murder of Edgewater police officer David Jewell. The plea agreement allowed Machado to avoid the death penalty that was being sought by Florida prosecutors.
I have signed and will be filing a notice of intent to seek the death penalty in this particular case.
According to reports, David's wife and family were in agreement to the plea deal because it means that no trial will take place and they won't have to relive the nightmare of that day in September of 2025. A judge immediately sentenced Machado to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Machado had originally entered a plea of not guilty. Remember that accused criminals pleading not guilty does not mean that they are saying that they didn't do it. There is surveillance video footage showing that he did it. What these accused defendants are hoping for is a jury deciding that he either had a good reason to do what he did or maybe because he had mental issues. For those of you who don't know, the no contest plea is when a defendant accepts the conviction and punishment without admitting that he or she is guilty, allowing the court to just go ahead and proceed directly to sentencing. The widow of David Jewell, Elizabeth Jewell, had said in court that she and David were more than husband and wife, that they were best friends and partners. We had a once-in-a-lifetime love, she had said.
5,921. That's the number of mornings I was blessed to wake up next to the love of my life. 245. That's the number of mornings I've woken up alone, still reaching for my husband beside me, before I'm forced back into the reality that he's no longer here. We had a once-in-a-lifetime love, the kind most people spend their lives looking for.
Police officer David Jewell was born on September 28, 1979, 45 years old. David was a father, a husband, and a son to his parents. He was someone who had dedicated years of his life to public service and as somebody that anyone could rely on. He had joined the Edgewater Police Department in the year 2023, fulfilling a lifelong dream of becoming an Edgewater police officer, a role he carried with pride, joy, and dedication, according to his obituary. So while David resided in Ormond-by-the-Sea in Florida, near the Circle K store where he was killed, he worked for a city about a 45 to 50 minutes drive away from home. According to the chief of police in Edgewater, he had stated, David was a guy that you could rely on for anything. You'd never hear a bad thing about him. David was also a pet lover who had several dogs and cats. Edwardo Machado was a legal resident in the United States who had immigrated from Cuba 10 years earlier and later obtained his green card. Machado's mother still lives in Cuba. Machado's other family members have said that he had been diagnosed with a mental health disorder and that Machado has said that he was hearing voices. But they also say that Machado was very quiet, he played a lot of video games, and never gave any hint of being violent or making threats. Machado didn't have a criminal record. However, he did receive a citation for shooting a gun in a state park in the year 2023. On the morning of September 15, 2025, Eduardo Machado had arrived at work at the Circle K gas station convenience store in Ormond-by-the-Sea in Florida. At about 4 o'clock that afternoon, off-duty police officer David Jewell had stopped by the store while on his way home from picking up his father-in-law from a hospital. After David walked into the store, Eduardo Machado walked out of the store. He went to his car, a white Kia, and he retrieved a jacket and a gun that he had just picked up from a gun store earlier that same day. Eduardo Machado walked back into the store. He approached David Jewell from behind while David was near the register about to pay for some items, and without saying a single word, Machado immediately began firing his gun directly at David, and he didn't stop shooting until after the 24th shot. He shot the gun at David 24 times. The first shots were fired into David Jewell's head. According to reports, Machado walked back out of the store, and instead of fleeing in his car, he began walking along a roadway. Some officers that happened to be near the convenience store immediately became aware of the commotion taking place, and they went looking for Machado, and they captured him a short distance away from the store. Now, here is the part that you might find mind-boggling. When officers first asked Eduardo Machado, who doesn't speak very good English and even needed a translator at times during court hearings later, when he was first asked why he shot and killed Officer David Jewell, his response was, and I quote, "because I was having a bad day." He had also said that he had a, quote, "rough start to his morning," unquote. He shot a man who he did not know personally 24 times because, according to him, he was having a bad day. I hate to say it, but that does sound to me like he might actually be eligible for being declared legally insane. But that would not happen. During the following months, while being questioned, Machado had made other statements that he had been working in the Circle K convenience store and that David Jewell, whose name Machado did not know, had entered the store several times in the past, and that he believes, that's what he said, that he believes that he had argued with David in the past. He believes, he said. Machado could not provide any specific details about what the argument was about.
He has confessed that he knows the difference between right and wrong. He said that he had an argument with police officer Jewell, but he doesn't know when that argument occurred or where that or what that argument was about.
Machado told detectives that he did not know David Jewell's name, that he did not know that David was a police officer, and he had never seen him in uniform. He said that he did see David carrying a gun in the past, and because of that, Machado said that he was afraid of him. I know, none of this makes any sense. Machado also said, and this is crazy, he said that earlier that day he had thoughts about shooting and killing David Jewell during his drive to work that morning, while he was driving to work. How did he know that David Jewell would be at the store that day? So if this is true, Machado had it in for David Jewell long before that shooting, but he can't give a reason why. How did having a bad day lead to those thoughts.
Jewell will never be forgotten. Not now, not ever.
The family of David Jewell has filed a lawsuit against the Circle K store, claiming that the store was negligent in hiring Machado as an employee. According to the report, Circle K Stores Incorporated failed to use reasonable care to select and retain an employee that was competent and fit for the position. Furthermore, Circle K Stores Incorporated was aware of Machado's citation for use of illegal guns and discharging it in a public place. And Circle K management had been warned by some law enforcement officials, yet management ignored that Machado was, quote, a dangerous individual. The family is seeking $20 million in damages. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button for more of these true crime stories so that you learn when the next one comes out. You can also follow me on Facebook for updates. There will be a link to my Facebook in the description below. My name is Paco Rivera. Thank you for watching. Take care and bye.